everybody knows about the show, that is the Pundit at Dr. Ritu Show. Myself, Harish Mehta, working as a marketing manager in the company, and today is my privilege to introduce both the doctor. Dr. Ritu Santwani, she is a moderator of today's session, and Dr. Ritu Santwani, she is MBBS, MD, obstetrician and gynecology. She is the IVF specialist, 20 years veteran of obstetrician and gynecology services. She has specialized in test tube baby and each and every aspects of the infertility and provides a comprehensive services in IUI, IVF, ICSI, assisted hatching, egg donation, embryo donation, surrogate motherhood, male infertility, natural infertility treatment, semen banking, embryo freezing, sexual and psychological problems. Try to give the moral and emotional supports to our all infertility patients. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Harish.
And today's Pundit, Professor Dr. Deepak Jumani. Dr. Deepak Jumani is a distinguished senior sexual health physician and counselor from the Mumbai, attached to Sir JJ Government Group of the Hospitals and Grand Medical College as an assistant professor of medicine sexual health. Dr. Deepak Jumani, he is also attached to the Mumbai Police Hospital, Dr. House, and Apollo Sugar Clinics as a consultant sexologist. Dr. Deepak Jumani has his private clinics at Dr. House and My Best Doctor Clinic in Goregaon, Mumbai. He is also conferred with the Dronacharya Award. He is the chairman of Indian Medical Association Initiatives of Sexual Health, a pan-India sex education program. He is the author of the bestseller, The Manual of the Sexual Health, titled Sex Has No Expiry Date. Dr. Deepak Jumani is a stellar personality, prolific orator, singer, avid reader, and researcher. Welcome, sir.
Thank
And
you.
this webinar is organized by the InnoCare Life Sciences from the makers of eDrive and eDrive C. Now, over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Harish, and thank you, for Life Sciences. So before I start, so friends, very warm welcome to all of you, and my namaskar to all of the viewers who are attending. Today we are celebrating our 74th Independence Day. So I think I will start with this our means for our this Independence Day celebrations. This is a very very proud occasion for all of us. सो आई थिंक वी विल, जैसे कि अभी हमारे प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत ही नेशनल एंथम के साथ हुई है, तो आई वांट टू से जय भारत, मेरा भारत महान. यस,
मेरा भारत महान, हमारा
Yes.
भारत महान.
महान, हमारा भारत महान. सो फ्रेंड्स, आई वांट टू स्टार्ट विद दिस टू लाइंस. अनेकता में एकता ही हमारे देश की शान है, इसीलिए तो मेरा भारत महान है, इसीलिए तो हमारा भारत महान है. So a very very warm welcome to Professor Deepak Jumani sir. Friends, as all of you are aware, now my this Pundit show everyone knows. So in this show I always invite the persons who are very knowledgeable, who have a passion of teaching also, who also believes that the knowledge is always increases by the sharing. So today is the first time the Jumani sir is on the huge popular demand. Sir, we get so many messages, WhatsApp mails, ki please call the sir again. So we are very very feeling very very honored that sir has accepted our invitation again, and for this, and this also on the very good day on the Independence Day. So sir, thank you sir, तहे दिल से आपका स्वागत है.
Thank you very much, Ritu.
Yeah. So friends, today we are going to discuss a very important topic. There's freedom from erectile dysfunction. So we are having a great professor, Dr. Jumani, with us. So we are going to start the topic now. So friends, if you are having some queries, you can write in the chat box, and those who have joined us via YouTube and Facebook can write your queries there. Our technical expert, Mr. Babo, is there. He will share the questions here. Sir, so now my the first question is to you, that regarding this. Sir, we are living in the sex saturated society, but still we are talking about the sex, but still some consider it as a taboo. So sir, what's your experience in this? Though we are in this modern era 2020, but still it is considered as a taboo.
Yeah, at the outset I thank Harish, Dipen, Ritu, you, and all the viewers for being here and listening to me. And I wish to interact with my heart today. I want to say everything with my heart, mind, and soul, so that it goes into your heart, mind, and soul. And I want to bring about a change. I know this era, which is we are under COVID and so much of stress. there are a lot of sexual illnesses which I am seeing day to day. It's increasing. But what I want to convey through my talk here today for half an hour is that I want to convert this sexual illness into sexual wellness and make everybody feel free. This will be my gift on this 15th August or 74th Independence Day to all my viewers who would develop some freedom to talk about it. That's what the first thing is, they should talk about it. So, with pranams to my teachers and God and blessings, I am ready to answer all your questions. Now, why people don't talk about it? The most common reason is they don't talk to doctors. They don't talk. They can talk amongst themselves, but many a times they don't talk to physicians because they feel they'll become judgmental. Doctors might judge them. Or second reason is they may feel the doctor may not able to do anything, or is this got nothing to do with the doctor's treatment. It is all my fault. I masturbated enough, or I did something wrong, or something like that. Or there's a lot of guilt in them for what they might have done something wrong in their early childhood. So there are a lot of reasons, and plus from the day we are born, our parents and our culture has been suppressing us to talk about it. They say, hey, you should not talk about all this. It's bad, it's sin, it's dirty. So these are the reasons which inhibit adults who have sexual dysfunctions, which are manageable today completely. They don't talk about it, and the key lies is in educating these people. We need, at our level, we are the best people who can educate the masses. We can educate our patients with very simple things, that today's sexual dysfunctions are so common, be it patient having diabetes, being a hypertension, but these are all manageable today. If anybody wants to take treatment, they can take treatment. These are all manageable. In fact, in men, erectile dysfunction is a correctile dysfunction. So this is what we need to convey to our patients by educating them, that this is manageable. These dysfunctions are manageable.
Awesome, sir. So, two practical points I catched here only: sexual illness to sexual wellness, and erectile dysfunction to correctile. Sir, awesome, awesome. So, now my next question is, so, what are the common sexual issues which are faced by the men in the bedroom in these days?
Okay. See, we are all born out of love,
Hmm.
and love we know is very good. Where it and sex is the highest energy on this earth. It's the only energy which gives rise to life. Okay.
Yeah.
And a person who's initiating a sex or who wants to have sex, there is a lot of fear in them. First thing is the fear, okay, whether he'll be able to perform well or not. So that fear, that anxiety is always there when he goes into the bedroom. Now, there are various issues, but the most common issues are in younger people. They have psychological issues. You know, they are into multiple relationships. They have myths about excessive masturbation, visiting call girls, etc., or whether they are disease, size of the penis, or many things which are, which have got no base to their performances, but they carry this with them, and they watch a lot of porn. They internalize the feeling that I should have a body like this, or a girl should be like this to have a proper good enough sex. So those things are psychogenic things. The other things which we see in our patients are many patients who have got chronic illnesses, especially above 40, diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia, smokers, alcoholics, patients who take a lot of drug abuse, who are under heavy stress, or who are under certain drugs like antihypertensives, like beta blockers, diuretics, then patients who are taking antipsychotics, patients who are depressed and they are taking medications for depression, anticonvulsants, antivirals, so many medications which are there that can also cause erectile dysfunction or sexual dysfunction in men. And third thing, most important common thing which I have found is men, when they go into their bedroom, if they don't like their partner, they don't want to have. So the issue is, I am not comfortable with her. She's obese, she's fat, she's not initiating, she's not interested. So these are the common things which patients come and tell us that this is the reason why I'm not having sex with my partner. So these are the common issues.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. So meanwhile, I want to welcome all the doctors. Some doctors have joined. Dr. Mohammed has joined from the Saudi Arabia. Rest the doctors have joined from all across the India, from the Bhubaneswar, Jaipur, Chennai. So many places the doctors have joined. So, sir, my next question, sir, what are the common non-psychogenic causes for the sexual dysfunction in men?
As I just told you, the non-psychogenic causes are vascular causes, which is diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia; neurological causes, which can be multiple sclerosis, Parkinson, epilepsy, and spinal cord injuries; then hormonal causes, deficiency or reduction in testosterone and high prolactin, low thyroid, high thyroid. These could be the causes. Then we have certain other causes like drugs and stresses. So these are the common non-psychogenic causes of erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, as you already told, we have to motivate our patients that they should speak up. So, sir, any practical tips or anything you want to suggest for the young doctors that how they can motivate their patients that the patient should speak up with the physicians regarding their
Yeah,
problem?
this is Ritu, very very important question.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of any doctor who wants to do some good service to their patients. This is such a such an important ice breaking thing. This is how we can break the barriers or break the ice between the patient. See, every patient who is about 30 years and having a family history of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, dyslipidemia, or any neurological cause, anybody about 30, we ask all the questions to our patients. We ask the histories about allergies, addictions, we ask history about piles, we ask history about so many things we talk. But when you are examining the patient, very simple, you should come out of that inertia from you, and while examining his abdomen or chest with your stethoscope, just ask him, how is the department down there? Is Nanubhai okay? Is your penis working well? Do you get good erection? Very softly ask him. Very softly. Don't make it public. Don't, because he's embarrassed to talk to you. And you know that after 30, when he has a family history of metabolic syndrome, he's going to get it. Or he might be having it, he's inhibiting himself to talk to you. But once you talk to him in a very soft manner, सब ठीक है ना उधर, सब सामान ठीक है ना, like that. So he will understand. He will understand that doctor wants to know about it, and I should tell him because I have an issue. I was not able to perform, and then he said, no doctor, there's a problem. I wanted to talk to you about it, but somehow I didn't want to talk. I couldn't talk. So that is the time that you break the ice, and you have to initiate a dialogue. Patients will not talk about it. And in general, if he's a very qualified patient and all that, he's got diabetes for 10 years, he's got dyslipidemia, he's got all these things, tell him when you are talking to him or explaining him the medicines, etc. Tell him that today we are living in a very different world. All diabetics, all hypertensive, most of them have some issues or the other in the bedroom. Some don't get erection, some get ejaculations early, some don't have desire. But today, all these things are manageable. you know. And all the causes are what? They're very simple causes. I tell very simple things. Today, medical sciences have advanced so much that whatever is less in our body, be it hemoglobin, be it calcium, be it hormones, we can increase it. And whatever is more in our body, be it sugars, be it pressure, be it cholesterol, we can bring it down. So we can bring your body to a normal milieu and make your functions normal. So if you tell them that there is a treatment available, don't tell them that I am thinking that you are having it, but just give him a feeder that yes, these are manageable issues today. All sexual dysfunctions are manageable today. We can manage it. We can improve the sexual functions and give a good quality of life to our patients. So this is how these are a couple of things where you can decrease your inertia and ask the patient. The onus of treating sexual dysfunction begins here, and it is with the treating physician. It is not with the patient. Patients will
Hmm.
never tell you this. So you have to break the ice. You
Hmm.
have to ask the question. And these are very simple ways, very simple, emphatically, softly, in his ears. Just put in a feeder like this. And if he's an educated, he wants to listen to you, you are in a closed room, don't ask in front of his mother or brother or somebody else in a crowded clinic and all. Just take him little away when you are examining him, when you are alone with him. Put a feeder in his eye. So that's how you can talk to him and break the ice.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Means proper counseling is also very, very important.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Yeah.
much important.
Yeah. Sir, please enlighten us regarding this physiology of erection.
Well, it's a very important thing. It's very scientific. By it is There are three phases in erection. One is when he watches something erotic, or when he's touched by something, or when he's listening to some erotic stuff. There are sensations which travel into through the skin and through the other senses. It's through arteries. Arteries get dilated very simply, and this is neurologically mediated through the pudendal artery. There is a dilatation which allows the blood to flow inside. And then the second thing is through various chemical mechanisms, conversions of cyclic GMP into GP, the blood vessels which are there in the penis, they relax, the blood flows in, and when they are relaxing, when they're dilating, the veins are occluded, so there is no venous return, and the blood remains in the penis. So basically, it is neurologically mediated increased arterial inflow. Then there is the relaxation of the smooth muscles of the penis, so the blood comes inside, and there is restriction of the venous outflow, so the blood remains inside. That's the simple physiology of erection.
Yeah.
So any
Thank you so much.
problem, whether
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is a problem in the neurological way, or whether there's a problem in the vascular system, or whether is it the problem in the venous return, anybody can get dysfunction, erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, guide us about this, the role of this, any impact of the lifestyle for the during the for improving the sexual activity.
Uh, Very important. You see, today I have discovered in my 30 years of practice that for any sexual dysfunctions in male, there is no specific medicine for it. Say, take an example of sildenafil, which is available to us,
Hmm.
tadalafil, sildenafil, vardenafil. Now, all these drugs are mainly anti-hypertensive or anti-angina drugs, basically.
True.
They are not exactly for erection. So we are using the side effect of certain drugs. Even for early ejaculation, we have depoxetin. All these are antidepressant. They work on the serotonin level. Nothing in our field is there which is very specific for sexual dysfunction. So what is more important to understand that though these drugs give results, what patient wants, he gets it, but they are all with bag of side effects. So what is the first thing which we are taught in our medical school for any ailment? First is the diet, second is exercise, and then third comes the pharmacotherapy or whatever therapy it is. Now, what is lifestyle? There have been enough studies to prove that whatever disease we are getting, 20% of these are genetically driven and 80% are depending on the lifestyle of it. Your lifestyles can mutate the gene, can change the gene. Enough studies to prove that. So 20% of the ailments are totally because of your genes, and the rest 80% are because of your lifestyle. So lifestyle becomes the major important thing which we need to understand, which we need to address to our patients to make him all right. Majority of the patients have lifestyle issues. There are three things: salt, oil, and sugar. Now,
Hmm.
salt, if the patient is increasing his salt, he's prone to get hypertension. I've yet to come across a family in my 30, 40 years of practice in which family there is no one patient of hypertension. Every family there is one or two patients of hypertension.
Hmm.
So if you are increasing salt in your diet, you are prone to get hypertension. Medicines will go on for lifetime. You will get sexual dysfunction, and it's a killer. If you are increasing oil, another salt and then oil, SO is oil, oil dyslipidemia. Again, medicines for lifetime. Again, it's a killer. Again, you can get sexual dysfunction. The last is S is sugar, is diabetes. Medicines will go on for lifetime. You will get sexual dysfunctions and it's a killer. So these, what is very important is to control your diet, improve your metabolic syndrome by just reducing the salt, oil and sugar after the age of 30. Don't give them exorbitant diet कि 8 बजे ये खाओ, 8:30 बजे ये खाओ, 9 बजे. You can't follow. I have yet to come across any patient who's adhering to a diet which is given by a dietitian. They go to the dietitian because they are forced to do that, but they don't follow it. They don't adhere to it. Every diet which has been there in the literature is good, but patients should adhere, and it is impossible in this era to adhere to any diet because of our lifestyle. So, what is important is diet is very important. In the first thing is diet. Now, what sort of diet which is helpful? See, we need for erection a blood flow in the penis. So we need to have a certain diet which will increase the blood flow. For which we need blood, for which we need something which will increase the blood flow, and for which we need what? Something to increase the blood. All red colored fruits, red colored vegetables, all green vegetables are excellent. They all increase hemoglobin, increase the blood in our body. Then cow's ghee and cow's milk, very good instead of buffalo milk and the other milk. This is the best milk to have. Garlic, onion, and ginger, proven beyond doubt to reduce your cholesterol and improve the vascular system. Then almonds, walnuts, dates, honey, fantastic they are. So certain changes in the diet which he can easily take. If he's a non-vegetarian, he can have white of the boiled egg. Fish is good for him. So these things can definitely help. This is the first thing. Then second is exercise. Now,
Yeah.
when you are doing exercise in lifestyle, you are moving your body. There is flexibility. You don't put on weight. And what do you want in sex? You want flexibility. You do not want a paunch. You do not want all these things. You want improvement in the blood supply. We all know. And exercise is known to produce testosterone. It is known very well to produce insulin in our body. It is also known to reduce dyslipidemia. So exercise has to be motivated at least 150 minutes per week of aerobic. Don't have to go to the gym. Just run, just jump, just skip, do cycling, do swimming. Natural workouts are best. Don't have to go to the gym. So this is second thing. Sleep is the third thing. Sleep is very important. Sleep, if you sleep for 6 to 8 hours, we have found that patients who are not sleeping, they have testosterone deficiency. Their, their, their testis size reduces. Now, if the size of the testis reduce, the functions of the testis reduce. Functions are producing testosterone and sperm. So those patients don't get desires. So they get those. This is very important to sleep for 6 to 8 hours in a day. Then you need to cut down on or stop your smoking and alcohol. Alcohol can be taken a little bit, but not in excess, not more than 2 pegs once or twice in a week. Smoking definitely has to be stopped. And increase your commitment, your communication with your partner, which is very important. So this is consistent communication and commitment to your partner. See, if you are having multiple relationships, then this doesn't work. So what is important? You need to have a commitment in a relationship. You got to be monogamous. You may be having issues, but you both can solve together by a healthy discussion and negotiation. So this can be managed. And what is more important is touch. I find couples don't touch each other. You need to increase your romance. You need to touch your partners. You need to hug her. You need to kiss her. Of course, not in this COVID, people are little apprehensive
Yeah.
because we do not know. My partner may also be having COVID. She went out to buy bhaji, or she. So, but in general terms, when you are sure that in a committed relationship you can do all these things. So this is very important. Lifestyle plays a major role in improving sexual function. This is the first and the most important. Even there have been enough studies in the literature to show that lifestyle, along with counseling, has been proven to cure sexual dysfunction. So lifestyle is very important. And lifestyle is diet, exercise, avoiding of certain drugs, avoiding smoking and alcohol in excess, commitment and touch. So this is very important.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So you covered very nicely, huh? Sir, as you told regarding this diet also, sir, now I'm coming to this for this nutraceuticals. Sir, as most of the patients who are approaching to us are the Google savvy, वो पहले ही Google से सब पढ़ कर आते हैं कि मैम हमने डार्क चॉकलेट खाया, हमने ऑलमंड्स खाए, हमने जो जो लिखा था नेट पे हमने सब कुछ खाया. As you yesterday only I got one couple, they told me कि मैम हमने कलरफुल प्लेट के बारे में एक बार आपके वेबिनार में सुना था, तो we are doing that also. So sir, please guide us little bit more about the use of the nutraceuticals.
See, what is important to understand is
Hmm.
erectogenic mechanism begins with nitric oxide.
Yeah.
Nitric oxide is a signaling molecule, which is the first thing you require to get a erection, to start the whole erectogenic process. Now, as we age, nitric oxide reduces in our body. So we need something to improve our nitric oxide status in the blood vessels. Nitric oxide is formed from the endothelium through a protein called L-arginine.
True.
Now, L-arginine is an amino acid which is found very less in the food stuff. It is found in nuts, it's found in dates, etc. But it is of a very little quantity. So you really need nitric oxide if you want to have a good sex life or a good endothelium at the later age of life, about 40, 50, it keeps on reducing. It is said that when you will be 60, you will have only 15% of nitric oxide. So we need something to increase the nitric oxide. For which, what do we have? We have L-arginine. Now, L-arginine is a nitric oxide donor. So L-arginine is very important. It's one of the best nutraceuticals which we have. The discoverer of this got Nobel Prize. Dr. Louis Ignarro and his team got Nobel Prize when they discovered this. Now there is L-citrulline. Now L-citrulline through the kidney produces L-arginine. So it's a boost to production of nitric oxide. So these two are very good. Then we have pycnogenol, pine bark. Ancient studies have shown that this pycnogenol is a natural aphrodite. It increases your desire. Along with other Triburas tristuris and ginkgo biloba, ginseng, so many things are available. They are basically, they are increasing the desire. Now, how do they increase the desire? We have fenugreek in a saponite form. Fenugreek's chemical structure is like testosterone. Now, we can't give testosterone to younger patients because if we give them, they develop azoospermia and they will become infertile. We can't give it to elder people because if we give them, they may develop heart failure or prostate cancer or some other complication. So we are in a fix to give testosterone, and testosterone is a double-edged sword. We can give, but why to give when we know that this molecule is going to cause complications in his body? So what we should do is we should give them something which will produce a testosterone-like effect. Patients who are not having desire, they don't have sex because of low testosterone or whatever reason. So what we give them a combination of L-arginine, L-citrulline, fenugreek, and Triburas tristuris, and Macao, bioperine, all these combinations which we give them. Now, amongst them, the fenugreek which is there is got a chemical structure like testosterone. What it does is, testosterone is bound 100% with proteins, globulin and MBE. 60% is globulin bound, 40% is albumin bound. Out of the 40%, 38 is albumin bound, 2% is free. So now when you are giving fenugreek, what it does is, it displaces the globulin bound and increases the free testosterone. Now free testosterone is what we know is for desire. So you are increasing his desire by giving him something which is not testosterone molecule, which is not going to cause complications of prostate cancer or something like heart failure in him. It's a very safe, it's a natural, it's an amino acid. So it's a building block of proteins. Besides this, it has got multiple other benefits, which is like increasing the proteins, increasing the muscle, etc. So many other advantages of L-arginine. So basically, these things produce desire, also produce nitric oxide, which are the two ingredients which are required for erection. So these nutraceuticals, they comply with your body. They are very safe and they are available to us. You don't need to go to the doctor. You don't need a prescription. They are OTC products also. They are sold so, and they are cost effective. And see, if I want to send my patients for implant surgery or cavernous injections or a vacuum pump or so many other therapies or extracorporeal shockwave therapy for erectile dysfunction, it's cumbersome. It makes the patient feel that he needs all these things to get a normal sex life. But if you put these patients on these nutraceuticals for a period of 6 months, trust me, they have physiological erections. Plus, if they have a good lifestyle, they control their metabolic syndrome, they do very well. And we should promote this thing because these are, I call them as a medical food to be given under medical supervision, which is very important. These do help. Nutraceuticals, the word nutraceuticals is nothing but nutrition and pharmaceutical. Stephen DeFlies combined these two, made it Nutra and Cuticles. So it's very important for us to understand, focus our attention when we are treating our patients to give them less drugs. Which, see, we know there is nothing for erectile dysfunction available today except the PDE5 inhibitors. And PDE5 inhibitors are basically vasodilators. They are not for erectile dysfunction per se specific and all that. They are given. I agree to it. I don't deny that, but they are not the drugs used for that. When they started the studies on sildenafil in the beginning, they were using it for angina patients, for hypertensive patients,
True.
and their angina or hypertension did not improve. But the patients came back to ask for the drug because then the doctors asked them, why you are coming again if your blood pressure is not under control? Say, no, no, doctor, we are getting good erection. Our life is getting improved. So that's why the patients who came as volunteers, they came again and again. And that's how they discovered that how this is given for improvement in erectile dysfunction. So lifestyle, these are the things which reduce the oxygen, radical oxygen scavengers. We reduce the oxidation. It improves the desire. It improves the orgasms. Even in females, it improves the orgasms. Even it improves the vaginal lubrication. It improves the thickening of the vagina, thickening of the uterus. There are so many advantages of these nutraceuticals, and less and absolutely no side effects and cost effective, very well available to all of us. So nutraceuticals, I go for it. I give to every patient of mine who comes to me for any sexual dysfunction. If they are asking for medicines and if they are normal, even then I give them, I tell them this is a tonic. I tell them, see, my son is normal, but still I give him bone vita. Why do I give him bone vita? So similarly, you also take this. You are normal, but you will feel more normal with this.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Sir, the one more query, sir, as you told regarding this arginine. Sir, these days so many companies are coming with different combination of this arginine. Some are coming with arginine zinc, some are coming arginine with other things. Sir, so what will be the exact dose of the arginine for this erectile dysfunction? Is the 5 gram is sufficient?
See, as I told you, that nitric oxide levels keep on decreasing as we age. Now,
Yeah,
we don't test for nitric oxide for every patient. How much is it? So, how much
true.
L-arginine to be given to replace it? But sufficient to say that there are sachets available for 2.5 grams or 3 grams or 5 grams available.
Yeah,
So, you can start with 2.5 grams per day because if he's above 60, his nitric oxide level will be about 15%. But if
true.
it's less than that, his nitric oxide, there will be some nitric oxide, but he still needs little more nitric oxide to get a good enough sex. So you can start with 2.5 grams. They are available in sachets. Put them in a glass of water or a juice and drink it once in a day. Safe. And continue tell him that these are ये जड़ से आपका problem ठीक करेगा, but it will take little time, which is a fact. If they don't, L-arginine, when it goes, it does not start its effect on day one. It starts after 2 to 3 weeks, which is a must. And so tell them to take it for 6 months religiously, and they'll get fantastic results. They'll get physiological erections which are there. We should not give them PDE5 inhibitors and give them unrealistic erections, which they start feeling that this is the normal erection I should have, and it is because of the tablet only I got it. So I dependent on the tablet. I need this. So this myth needs to be busted, and this is with us. The onus is with us. We should avoid giving medications for erectile dysfunction to younger patients, and we can start them on something like this which can improve their sex life, because by giving them PD5 inhibitors, I have seen patients who take it from the chemist, 17-year-old boys, 19-year-old boys, who have got nothing, but still they're taking it. And I'm also ashamed when I see some of my doctors, he's going on a honeymoon, give him a tadalafil. Arey, why you want to give him? Yaar, you are making him, you are making him dependent on that drug. Why you want to do that? Counsel him well. Tell him it's normal. You may have anxiety. You may have fear. So that's what is the way to be gone in a most ethical way to treat patients. Nutraceuticals have a big role because
Yeah.
they are medical food and they always be helpful to us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, there is one question from Dr. Shraddha Agarwal. Vaibhav, can you write clearly? I'm not able to read. Sir, that is in the chat box. Vaibhav, you please ask Dr. Shraddha to write her question again. Sir, meanwhile, I want to ask you some practical tips you want to suggest for the secret of having a good sex life, as you are the pioneer in this field. So, anything if
The first thing is
yeah,
avoid SOS,
okay,
as I told you, salt,
yes,
oil,
sir,
and sugar.
yeah,
Second is sleep around 6 to 8 hours.
yeah,
Okay. Third is be connected to your partner. Be committed to your partner. Be monogamous. Okay. See,
yeah,
monogamous and polygamous both are, monogamous is like a garden and polygamous relationship is like a jungle. Both are good. Both are fine. We appreciate jungles also. We appreciate gardens also.
yeah,
But
yeah,
But to make your garden beautiful, you need to water, you need to put the right kind of fertilizer, you need to cut the tree at the right time. You need to devote time. Jungle doesn't need time, but you need to devote time in a monogamous relationship. You need to devote time to your partner. And it's a choice you have. Whether you want to be a gardener, a Mali, or you want to be a jungly, choice is absolutely yours. So you need to be monogamous in your relationship. And most important thing is love your body. You are unique. Everyone is a sexual human being. Start loving yourself. Keep your See, your body is like a temple. It's not a dustbin. You can't put anything in your body. You need to keep your body as what you see in a temple. Clean, serene, calm. Don't get angry. Don't feel jealous. Have positive vibes, positive thoughts. You don't have to be jealous about anything. Everyone is going to get whatever he deserves depending upon his karma. So accept, adapt, and be positive in your life. Don't have to be jealous. Don't have to be negative. Don't have to think something wrong about somebody. Don't have to be wicked. Don't have to be cruel. Have positive thoughts. Have lovely thoughts. Keep kindness. Be compassionate, and don't lose your integrity. Don't lose your integrity. You are married to one person. Yes, be committed for life, come what may. That will give you sleep. That will not give you fear, guilt, and shame. Because to overcome fear, guilt, and shame, it's very difficult for everyone. So it is important for us to understand, love your body, avoid salt, oil, and sugar, sleep well, avoid smoking alcohol, and be positive, be committed, have compassion towards your partner, and be romantic. You should increase your romance as your age increases. I find husbands and wives don't even hug each other, don't even say I love you, don't even talk to them, hardly touching each other. That's not life. You need to increase your romance as you age. There is no GST on romance. What is there?
Thank you so much, sir. So totally agreed. Once the patient come with this, I also tell them that self love is your superpower.
Absolutely. Love your
Yeah,
body. Everybody
yeah,
is same. Everybody is a sexual human being.
yes, yes,
No
yes,
one is different.
yeah, yeah,
Whether
yeah,
she's Aishwarya Rai or Bipasha Basu or anybody, everyone is same. So
yeah.
you need to love yourself. If you love yourself, you love others. You generate love and kindness for others. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to love others?
True, true. So we have got some questions via Facebook. So doctor is asking, yeah. Dr. Shraddha is asking that which drug can be used for female sexual dysfunction? Can tadalafil can be used for female sexual dysfunction too?
They have tried PDE5 inhibitors. It has worked in some. There are episodic evidences. There are certain studies. They show that it improved blood flow because it is going to increase blood flow in the reproductive organs. Definitely, so there is better engorgement, better lubrication, better orgasm. But these are very episodic. Now, regarding L-arginine, yes, you can give to all your patients, all your female patients. You can give. It is going to, because it's going to see, even testosterone low dose in the sense for a short term improves the desire even in women. It is known. Now, today we have found patients who have got low testosterone, they develop diabetes. Patients who are obese, they develop low testosterone and they develop diabetes. So if you are replacing testosterone in patients who are hypogonad, their diabetes also is reversing. So you can give certain things to your patients which are very helpful. Be it now tadalafil, there is no indication in the literature that tadalafil is given for a female sexual no, but there are studies. There are studies with sildenafil, there are studies with testosterone. Newer drug EDI, which is libanserin, which is, so these are the drugs which we give to females. Bupropion we give in patients too. So there are so many other things which are also important, but very few drugs are there. The medical pharma industry has been really partial to women. There have been thousands of brands of PDE5 inhibitors, but very little for female sexual dysfunction. In fact, when we want to do some studies, we are not given that encouragement as we are given encouragement for doing studies for male sexual dysfunctions. In our department also, it's the same thing. So because we have less female volunteers, we have a lot of male volunteers. Female volunteers are very less, so that's how we couldn't complete our studies also.
Agreed, sir. So she's asking one more thing, that how much coenzyme Q10 is required for sexual dysfunction treatment?
The coenzyme Q10 has got little role in patients who have got low sperm count. Carnitine, coenzyme Q10. So those infertile patients can be given. Today, when we started our practice, we used to get 15 milligrams of coenzyme Q10. Then it became 30. Then it came to 100. Now even 300. Even 1 gram of coenzyme Q10 is also available. So these are very good drugs. They increase the motility. They increase the sperm count. Fantastic. So these are the fuels of the egg. They increase the nuclear power of the cells. So it is good. They are good. They can be given to patients.
So if Vaibhav, if there are some more questions, you can write here. So sir, thank you so much for enlightening us with your extreme vast knowledge. Sir, before we wind up the show, sir, I want 2 lines from you. Sir, you are the fabulous singer, I know. So sir, this is the very good occasion. So sir, जहाँ हमने आपके साथ इतनी सारी knowledge gain की है, तो of course I want to listen to lines from you. Then I invite Harish to wind up. First, I want 2 lines from you, sir.
Okay. Do you want me to sing a paragraph or do you want me to sing only 2 songs?
सर जो भी आप कर दे सर, एक पैराग्राफ सर, पैराग्राफ, ऑफ कोर्स पैराग्राफ.
चलती है लहरा के पवन के साथ सभी की चलती रहे. चलती है लहरा के पवन के साथ सभी की चलती रहे. लोगों ने त्याग दिए जीवन के प्रीत दिलों में जलती रहे. के प्रीत दिलों में जलती रहे. दिल वो दिल है जो औरों को अपनी धड़कन देता है. मधुबन खुशबू देता है. सागर जीवन देता है. जीना उसका जीना है जो औरों को जीवन देता है. मधुबन खुशबू
Awesome, sir. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now over
Thank
to
you
you,
very
Hari. Yeah, over to you, Harish. Sir, you are gem of the person, full of
Thank you
knowledge,
very much.
and
You too,
always,
Ritu. You too.
always
You
you are
too.
ready to help. Always you are ready to help.
What
Thank
is
you,
there
thank.
in this life which we are going to take away? My multi-millionaire friend had
Hmm.
so much of money, but he died of COVID. What did he
Hmm.
carry with him? Nothing. So we are
Yeah,
not going to take away anything. Just share. Just love yourself. Love the world. Love nature. Be natural. Express yourself whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Respect your parents. Respect elders. Teach your children everything what you can. Share your wisdom. Be lively in your life. That's what is important.
yeah. Very true, sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, you are the most inspirational persons who
Thank
are
you.
of
Thank you. Ritu,
every.
you too. You see, we
No,
all
sir.
are. We all are in our own capacity. We all
Yeah.
do motivate our patients.
Uh,
But we should feel happy first. We
true.
should have that compassion in us. We should have empathy. That's one very good thing in our doctors. We should have. They should have empathy, not sympathy,
True.
but empathy. We should
Yeah.
realize our patients, problems as though they are ours. We are better off than them, but we should realize their problems as how it is happening to us. What if it happens to us? So, and we know how to solve these issues. So we have to empathize. Empathy is one of the biggest key factor which is very important to be needed in every doctor. He should empathize. Sympathy, no, the whole world gives sympathy. They are only sympathy seekers. They can do nothing for us. But what you need to, when a patient comes to you, he needs empathy. He needs compassion. He needs you to understand. He needs you to be with him. And being with him, being compassionate, being empathizing with him, he feels that he's cured almost. And that is the secret what we should learn from our life, and we should follow all these things.
Totally agreed with you, sir. Sir, the same thing my parents told me, ki whether the person is small or big, to get respect, you have to give the respect. So means this is the motto of life I am always following, कि
Yes,
कोई भी मिलता
yes,
है कि उसको respect के साथ ही बात करनी चाहिए. Yeah.
सही बात है.
So yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yes, over to you, Harish.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deepak Jumani, for your lovely discussion on today's topic, and thank you, Dr. Ritu Santwani. At the last, just wanted to give you a just brief idea about the product which we are offering for erectile dysfunction as well as female sexual dysfunction. So the first brand which we are promoting in erectile dysfunction cases, which helps to overcome the physiological and psychological factors which are the basically involved, which may lead to erectile dysfunction, and some of the patient may lead to a premature ejaculation. The first brand which we have, that is eDrive, and the eDrive, which offers the high strength L-arginine, which this brand overall act as a physiologically as well as a psychologically. So this eDrive helps to increase blood flow in the penile tissue, helps to improve the sexual health, and also helps to improve stamina and performance. So eDrive naturally restores the vigor and vitality in all the erectile dysfunction patient. Second brand, doctor, which we have in management of male sexual dysfunction, that is eDrive C, which itself contains a fenugreek, which is protodiosine enriched extract. And this fenugreek itself, which helps to increase approximately 73% of free testosterone and also improves total testosterone in male sexual dysfunction patients. Apart from this, the second ingredient which we are giving, that is Tribulus terrestris, and this Tribulus terrestris which also improves the IIF score in erectile dysfunction patient. And if I talk about the female sexual dysfunction part, the same, this fenugreek, which works on the desire phase, and this improves free testosterone approximately 24%. And if I talk about the other ingredients in eDrive C, that is a combination of L-arginine, L-citrulline, and pine bark. Overall, the combination of these three ingredients which work on the arousal and the lubrication phase. So this eDrive and eDrive C, whenever you get a patient like a male erectile dysfunction or female sexual dysfunction, you can prescribe our eDrive C. Now, thank you so much for today's session, and thank you all the lovely participants, and over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. So friends, before I wind up, so tomorrow again we are meeting with a very interesting topic, impact of coronavirus in sexual health. With this we wind up, and friends, on the month of September, as you know, the Teachers Day, so we are celebrating with some great teachers. So on the 5th September we are having Dr. Rishikesh Pai with us, 6th September, we are having Dr. Nandita Palshetkar Madam with us. 12th September, we are having Dr. Rishma Pai with us. And soon we are going to take a date with Dr. Jumani sir also, the professor of professors, teacher of teachers. So with this, I wind up. Yeah, thank you.
I'm a learner. I want to learn.
Sir, for us, you are teacher of teachers. Okay,
Thank
friends.
you.
With this, friends, we are winding up. Yeah, thank you, Harish and Sankalp and Innova for Life Sciences. Okay, bye-bye. Huh? Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
bye.
you, Harish.
Yeah. Stay safe, stay healthy.